Students and teachers, welcome to your session 1. Today we'll be talking about the Chromebook. And this class period is going to be talking about some tips and tricks in the Chromebook itself, and then we'll get into the Chrome browser. And we'll talk about some of the unique features of the Chrome browser that aren't usually found on any other PCs at this point in time. So first of all, I'll be switching my computer in a minute, but we also have a clamshell on the Chromebook itself. And one thing that's unique, we'll talk about this in a little bit, is on the lid there's an activity light. And so students can be able to control this, and they have 3 different colors. I believe it's green, red, and blue. And so I'll show you how it works in a little bit, but when the lid is open and the laptop is up and running, we'll talk about the feature of that light and how you as teachers and students can turn that light on, and that will trigger hopefully a response from your teachers to know that you need help, or they're asking you a question and that's your answer to the question. So you can change the color of the light, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. But basically we have the clamshell. There's a top one and a bottom one. We don't want you to be taking those off and removing those. You are responsible if you break it and crack it, that you have to buy a new one through the student store. So we've picked the best one we thought is out there, and it's supposed to be fairly durable, and not going to guarantee it won't break, but it should protect your device really well. A couple of things: you should have your laptop sticker on here, and then this Chromebook has not been checked out, so it doesn't have the student picture if you're a Pioneer, or it doesn't have your student ID barcode if you're at Carson High School. So yours looks just a little bit different. You are allowed to, and you're welcome to, go ahead and decorate and put stickers on this. They're appropriate wherever you want. We just ask you to do not cover up our Carson City logo, and do not cover up the stickers that are down below that we need for the management of the devices. So, put your favorite football team on there, Patriots, 49ers, Broncos, whatever you are, music groups, whatever, as long as it is appropriate. So make sure you guys understand appropriate. I think you all do, your high school students, and if you have any questions, if it's appropriate or not, then certainly ask somebody at your building site and they'll be happy to tell you. On the bottom of the Chromebook, you have another yellow sticker that should not be taken off as well. It's protected underneath the clamshell, so shouldn't be any reason for you to be taking your protective cover off. Cool thing about these clamshells, and we don't know how long these are going to last, but you actually have little legs here. So when you are working with your clamshell or working with your laptop, you'll see there on an angle there, it actually puts it up on off the table, off the desk, dissipates heat a lot better, and also a little more ergonomic for the wrists when you're typing. So I don't anticipate those lasting a super long time because they are plastic and it's a little hinge and they got a little tiny pin in there, but the longer you make yours last, obviously the longer you'll have it for the functionality of the device. So don't lose sleep if those break off. I don't know the durability on those, but just be careful with those, and be wise in how you use them and don't break them up. Chromebook itself, most of you have had your device now for a little while, at least today. We have our power cord, our power plug-in. There's a USB port on both sides of the device, so you can get USB peripherals or external devices on there if you want. There's an HDMI video card on there, so if you want to go to a screen or TV or projector, you can output HDMI. Then obviously your audio aux cord can go there. And there's a drop spot for a SD card on the left side. On the right side, pretty quick. This one's simple. It's just a USB drive there on this side. So don't worry about these other ones you have covered up. They're not really for your use and to be messed around with. So if you do want to lock it down, that's kind of your lockdown port, but we won't be using that because we want them to be portable. The other reminder, students, these should be in a backpack or in a protective sleeve. You can get your protective sleeve from the student store for $6 at Carson High School, and I would check with the office with Mr. Zona or with Shannon to see where they can get the sleeves for you for Pioneer High School. So that's the actual device itself as far as the external stuff goes. So let's go ahead and just talk about the inside of it. So boot up time is less than 8 seconds is what we've projected and what we've experienced. So those of you students who were at Carson Middle School and you had those old Lenovo's, they were a 4 to 5 minute boot up time. These take about 8 seconds at the most to boot up and to turn on. Students, these are your devices, and if you happen to share it with somebody else, remember they can't even log in as a guest. We've turned off the guest access, and we've also turned off the incognito browser, so you can't get on and surf or to use the device without having your credentials in the device so we know who's on it. If you do have somebody else who's using your device, they'll have to actually sign in with their own password. Students do not be giving out that password. We monitor all of your files and the papers you produce and the slideshows you make, and it's amazing how many students don't realize that this is a school device, and because it's owned by the school, yes, there's a little bit of Big Brother there. We can look and we see what you're typing, and if there's anything that's inappropriate there, profanity or bullying or obscene stuff, then we certainly will be talking to you, and you'll lose the opportunity to be using these devices. So please make good choices, good decisions, and that's that digital citizenship stuff. It's your responsibility to make sure that you are being appropriate. Nice hinges. We're happy with the hinges. You get your audio on there. So power, for those of you, I'll kind of zoom in here, and then I'll go to my browser in a minute. So the power's over there on the top right. I've logged in here already, so it knows who I am. It just wants my password, so I'll go ahead, and if you're not sure if it's you, then you can click down here, and it will tell you right there in the top corner, excuse me, up here in the top corner, it'll tell you what that picture, who that user is tied to. So staff and teachers, you can always just click on the icon and make sure it's the correct student using the correct device. But since everybody has the same laptop, we shouldn't see you guys sharing your devices back and forth with each other. And certainly if I shared my device with somebody, I would log out so they don't have my credentials and let them log in using their own username and password. Okay, so let's go ahead and get logged in really quickly. I guess before that, I'll down here, so there's your shutdown with a button, down here. I can sign out of the account and it won't recognize me anymore. If there's more than one person, it says other users, I think, down here, and you can select that. Your battery life should be about an 8 to 10 hour battery. It'll tell you what you're doing down here, and then your Wi-Fi signal, and of course our time, and then there's the icon I've picked. So click on the battery, it's 24%, and I got 2 hours and 25 minutes left. So potentially about a 10-hour battery life on this one. Okay, we manage the devices, we push out all the apps to the devices, and they're always connected through our network. If I go to Starbucks or McDonald's, I simply click on the Wi-Fi, and or the Wi-Fi, as some of you guys may call it, and so I can connect to other outside Wi-Fi sources. Remember, students, even if you go to an outside source, McDonald's or even your house or your friend's house, that all of your browsing and all of your documents are recorded and they're monitored by our tech department. So just because you're not on our network doesn't mean you're not protected. You still are. And so make good choices. We'd hate to lock up your device or have you go through more digital driver's license classes because of inappropriate use. So let's make the right decision and do the right thing. All right, log in. Let me do that real quick. So when I log in, we will be pushing out apps down here to the bottom corner for you, and we'll be sending those apps down there, and we'll set those up for you so you can use those. One thing I want to show you on this device before I go to my Chrome browser on my PC, which in essence is the same as the browser on the Chromebook, is over here in your search one. I want to show you how to turn on that light. If you don't have a button that says Dell Activity Light, go ahead and click on All Apps, and then you can actually find the one that says Dell. Circle, and it's got a little blue square in it, so everybody go ahead and do that. And just click on that Activity Light. And teachers, you can check this, because once they turn that on and they have that, there's a little window that comes open, and then we can put that wherever we want while we're operating our browser or our machine. And simply, if I click on the blue typically is I have a question, Control Shift 4, and you can see we have blue light. So I like that idea just for quick formative assessment. Do you got it or do you not have it? Do you agree or disagree? Red light, so there's my red. That's going to stand for I don't understand what's going on. Blue means I have a question. And then we have our green, can be whatever you want it to be, whatever you tell the students. So that's in your classroom management. Maybe that's if I have something to share or I have something to talk about. Whatever you as teachers can think, and you can assign those colors to mean whatever you want in your class. But that's your Dell activity light will turn on that activity light up on the outside of your lid. So there's that one, and quickly go into the browser. This one is not going to the right page, so in your next period we're actually going to be talking about the digital education page and what all the resources are out there for you. So I'm not going to spend any time on this, but at this point in time that's basically the machine and how to use it. I mean, not really how to use it, but there's the machine and a couple of things there for you. Remember on your, or not remember, I'll tell you that on your machine these have 16 gigabytes of memory, so you can actually sync your documents up to your Google Drive, so you can actually work on your documents offline. Let's see here. Also, you can put your music on there. You can listen to music. You can put videos on there and watch TV shows or videos that you've put on there. A number of, you can work on your spreadsheets. You can send out emails. Well, you can create an email. You can't send it until it gets back on the Wi-Fi again.
All right, hey, welcome.
So the one thing I want to show you right now is the keyboard shortcuts. So Chromebooks have a ton of keyboard shortcuts, so I'd practice memorizing them. So what you can do is hit Control, Alt, and the question mark. So Control, Alt, question mark, and then what you're going to do is that's going to show you some of the keyboard shortcuts. So if there's kind of the standard ones. There's your disable your cap lock, so it'd be hitting that Shift key right now, and on either side. Go back would be your backspace button. But if I hold the Control button down, now I get a whole bunch of other shortcuts that I can be using. Focus on the address bar, print as a shortcut, open something, close a tab, next pane, previous page. Alternate, I can hold down the Alt key and that gives me a different set of keyboard shortcuts. And then I can go to my Shift key and there's a few. Looks like I have about 5 or 6 different keyboard shortcuts on that. So you can memorize those keyboard shortcuts. That'll teach you to be more efficient in your class and your using of the device. To get out of there, we simply go ahead and hit the Escape key, and my keyboard shortcuts map has disappeared. So at this point in time, I'm going to actually stop the videoing of the device, and I'm going to jump on my Chrome browser, which is virtually the same on a PC. And just talk about some quick tips and tricks as far as the Chrome browser goes. Alright, students and teachers, welcome to the Chrome browser. So I'm actually on my PC right now, and you can run a Chrome browser on a Mac, so you can download that app on a Mac if you want. So if you are Mac people at home, I suggest you can download that Chrome browser, because the cool thing about the Chrome browser is it memorizes, or it knows where I left off no matter what machine I am using. So Chromebook, obviously we only use the Chrome browser and the Chromium soft launch, I guess I'm saying search engine, not search engine, but the browser, I guess we'll call it. They use the Chromium software. That's what I'm trying to say. So on my Chrome browser, one of the first things I want to show you students is many of you have your own Gmail accounts outside of school. And so if you go up here on the very top of your machines, you can actually switch users. I believe it's on your Chromebook. If not, it'll be down below in the bottom left, bottom right. But I can actually switch right now between my work ID and any other Chrome or Gmail accounts that I have. So I have my personal one, I have my work one, RPDP1, and then I have my YouTube account. I do professional development, we do that. Elementary school, we have that in there. And so I can actually switch seamlessly between any of my different accounts, and the beautiful thing there is all my files associated with those accounts simply just switch out when I go to that one. So right now I'm on work, I can go to my personal. So now here's all my personal settings I have, and once it catches up to us. So the last time I was on this account, you can see one of my tabs up top is Alaska News and Politics, so it knows where I left off and what tabs I had open when I left that last account. So simply just by coming up top and switching people, go back to my work one, and now I'm on work, and it goes back to the exact same tabs I had open when I left my work one. One cool feature here is if you look over on the far side of my screen here in the top left, you see these small tabs. Those actually are pinned tabs. So I can take any tab I have open and I can pin it to where I won't accidentally delete it or close it. So I know sometimes you work on a project and you close a tab and you realize, oh my gosh, I was in the wrong, I shouldn't have closed that tab. And so this is one of the steps you can do to help protect yourself from deleting tabs, and so it takes up less space. So I have my digital citizenship tab, so that's my YouTube stuff, or not my YouTube, my Google Drive. I have our district webpage, and then we have the Nevada appeal. Mr. Schultz and Huling back on the field for the Senators. So it sounds like that was great, good weekend for them. So there's a couple tips and tricks. How do you pin them? Let's go there and look at that. So if I wanted to pin Carson Digital Education, which is the exact same pin there, so let's pin a different one. Let's pin the home one. So I right click on that tab, and then if you see the option there, I can pin the tab. And so if I pin it, it now gets minimized, and then if you look here, there's no delete, there's no red X, so I can actually close this tab, and then I come over here, I don't have the option to close it until I unpin it. So I can right click it, and I can unpin that tab, and then I can go ahead and delete it if I want. So I want to keep that one there, so I'm going to pin that tab so I don't accidentally close it. So what I would do if it was me or a teacher or a student, go ahead and open up some of your favorite tabs you go to, and if you want to pin those, go ahead and do that so you have those resources at your fingertips and quickly available whenever you need them when you're trying to be productive. All right, so welcome back then. Hopefully you had a chance to go ahead and pin some tabs on there. The other thing that we'll be working with you students and teachers, you have this option. I really strongly encourage you to look at these resources. Is if you look at the top of my browser window here, I have a bunch of extensions. And so these are extensions like mini programs that help me be more efficient. So this extension here called Awesome Screenshots lets me take a picture of my screen. I can draw arrows and draw messages and kind of like capture images. So that's there. If whatever page I'm on, it saves automatically this whole thing right to my Google Drive. So if it's a Word document or a Google document or whatever, it's a web page with the cool pictures or picture, I just simply click one button and it goes to my drive. This is a nice one, shortcuts for Google. So then it lists all my shortcuts and I simply click them and I go there. Google Hangout, that's available to teachers but not students. Click and clean, so I've gone to 53 pages so I can clean my browser, so I can clear private data. I have options. I can go right to Facebook. You guys don't have incognito, so that's not there. Don't worry about that. URL shortener. This is pretty cool. I can take those long URLs. So if I had some crazy, I don't know, URL, let's look at the staff directory. And so if I wanted to make this URL shorter, little bitty is what some of you guys used in the past. I simply go to my URL shortening tool, and it takes this address and now makes it a shorter address. So then I can copy it and I can send it to students or friends, and it's a shorter URL. Those of you guys like to do scanners, there's your QR code, so I can simply make it a QR code and somebody scans that and it goes directly to that page. Pretty cool there. Tab resize, that's if you want to have multiple screens open at once. So you can actually tell the computer to have 4 different windows open and it'll split it, all 4 of them. I would suggest you can look at that, and I'll show you where to find these in a second. One tab, if I had a whole bunch of tabs open, I click on one tab and it makes it all into one, and it makes it into a directory. So for example, well, multiple tabs, it doesn't work because I only got one tab open. We'll go here. We'll go Google Training Center. We'll go Monica's Google Sites, Handybase. So I'll just show you this one works. And of course you have to have, whoops. Let's go back. We got Homer, Alaska webcam, so we can actually go see what it looks like in Homer, Alaska. Ketchimack Bay, kind of blurry. Anyways, so there's my tabs that are open, and I can go to one tab, and now it puts those into a document or a sheet that has those tabs broken out, and I can share that with somebody, and they can open up their tabs. OneNote, sign in, Evernote, sorry. Awesome screenshot, I have it twice. This is connect my Google Cast, so if you guys have a Google Thumbcast, or those Google Drive, what am I saying here? If you have the Google, Chromecast, that's the word, sorry. My Chromecast, I can project my screen to my TV by using a Google Chromecast, sorry, Chromecast is what I want. So that will actually go to my Chromecast. I can project it to my TV or to any other monitor I have turned on and plugged in. You teachers with newer projectors in your classroom, you can actually put a Chromecast up in there in the HDMI port, and then you can actually project to your projector or send to your projector on your device without cords, and it's totally wireless. Pretty cool. Google Dictionary I've installed in there, and then power saving. So if I want to save some power, I can switch it to where the screen will be kept on forever. It will never go out, or system will stay awake, but my screen may go off, or it turns off for power saving reasons. So that's just power management. Anyways, the question is, how do you get those? So a lot of fun things you can put up there for extensions, and teachers have that open over here in the apps. So look at over here in the apps corner. I simply can go to the web store, and we know that students, we've got this blocked for some of you, so we'll push the apps out to you that we think will be functioning for you and that you might want. But teachers, you can certainly go there and you click on apps or extensions. Apps are like little mini programs. It'll go to your app page, and you can open those up. But here's your extensions. So extensions live up in the top, and they make you a little more efficient. So share the classroom's an extension. You have to kind of experiment. I think that sends your page right to the classroom if you have Google Classroom set up. I have not explored all of these, but I certainly have a bunch up top that I use. And so simply go ahead and check those out, teachers. And if we have them open for you students, you can install those, or we'll actually push them out to you as well. Okay, so that's your apps, and if you want to see your apps, here's your app page. So anything you install as an app will be, and the more apps you install, the more pages you're going to have. Science teachers, there's anatomy games. You can actually click on there, and it's an app for the human anatomy. You can click on shoulder surgery. I haven't seen these ones. You can operate now. Practice some surgery stuff, but then you should have in here an option where you can now look at the bones, muscular system, nervous system, and you can play games and interact with things like that for you science, human anatomy people. Vickery. All right, so there is my apps. Apps for you old teachers are like, when you remember, you just go to the store and buy the discs, and you come home and install them on your computer. This is very much the same thing for your Chromebook in the Chrome store. So at this point in time, that gives us a little bit of introduction to the Chromebook itself. Teachers, if you want to play with the webcam, or sorry, with the Dell light, that activity light that the students can respond to you with, or if you want to go ahead and just let them explore their computers at this time. This is really just kind of having fun and getting used to your Chromebook and learning shortcuts and some cool stuff that it can do and not do. So remember, it is not like a laptop. It doesn't have all the same features, but it certainly has other features that are better with its speed and its ability to get online. And you can actually use it and be functional for the most part, even if you don't have Wi-Fi. So students who tell their teachers, I didn't have Wi-Fi last night, so I couldn't type my document, that is an untrue statement now. You have a device, and it is able to create documents even though you don't have Wi-Fi. And that's the same thing with spreadsheets and Excel spreadsheets, or they call it sheets in Google Docs. So check it out, have a little bit of fun, play with that, and get ready for your next session. Your next session for students and teachers, we're going to be talking about the digital education page right there and what resources we have built out for you. Oh, by the way, teachers and students, the library does have a power strips all throughout the library. You can think along the one window where all the students walk by, and then also over by the other entrance, power strips have been installed. So students that need power, need some juice, come on down to the library at appropriate times, lunchtime and nutrition breaks. You can get some power then. And teachers, you need to make sure you have some kind of a power strip. I think that's been passed out to you for students to use in the classroom if and when their laptop does go down. Remember, students, it's your responsibility to take these devices home. If your parents say it does not come home, then you will be issued a locker, and it's your responsibility to put that in the locker every day and have it prepared to work the next day. We don't want the excuse you come in that you don't have any power and you didn't charge it. It's your responsibility to charge it, not your teachers. Of course, they'll have power strips and some sources of power in their classroom, but being responsible, if I was to take off my car and go for a road trip, I want to make sure I have money for gas or gas in the tank. So practice that respect and that responsibility, and good luck with those Chromebooks.